Tuttle here. It's storm season in Oklahoma, and with that comes torrential rain.
Hey everybody, Meteorologist Tuttle with you again. It is time to talk business. We do have some weather to discuss, so hope you guys are ready for that. It's got a little bit of a threat for some weather, as you can imagine. Some of the weather you don't like. But we're going to find out where that's going to be, so thanks for joining me on your lunchtime live. A little later today, I had to do some CPR and first aid training. I don't want to say I didn't have to do it. I volunteered to do it because it's very important. Always good to be up to date on that type of training situation because you never know when you might need it, unfortunately. And it seems like in the last couple of years, there's been a lot more need for that kind of stuff. So I'll be ready to go should I need it. All right, well, out there currently, you've seen some clouds roll through, but otherwise, temperatures have warmed up pretty nicely. I'm at 65 degrees here in my backyard. A little disturbance and some rain is coming in from the west, so we're going to be getting some showers out there later on today from western Oklahoma moving through central Oklahoma. So that's some good news. I'm looking forward to that. We're fine, man. We need some rain out here big time, right? Now, we did talk about the fact that we were going to have another cold night last night and early this morning, unfortunately. So that has happened. So let's take a look here this morning. The lows, they were into, where did they go? Get that back off there. Into the 30s and 40s here over central Oklahoma. Looks like even a freeze in parts of northeast Oklahoma. But I think for a while, only for a while, we might be done with all this stuff, right? That's what I'm hoping for. When we look out here on the radar view, there is some showers out here into southwest Oklahoma and into the Texas Panhandle. So those are the ones that will be heading this way. Now, temperatures will be a little cooler out here because of the cloud cover and the rainfall, but they'll be into the 60s rebounding here in central Oklahoma to near 70 in many areas here of the state. So low 70s will be returning here momentarily. Now, we do kind of fast forward into Wednesday. There is a threat of severe weather across parts of central and northeastern Oklahoma here in the yellow shading. There is a tornado risk also associated with that. So that has expanded in coverage down a little bit of the south to include two areas, one here to the northeast and one here to central Oklahoma, which could include, yes, the Oklahoma City metro area, as it is kind of in that vicinity. Same thing for wind and hail. Close-up view of that from the National Weather Service gives us a slight risk here across Oklahoma City down toward Ada, and also into northeast Oklahoma as well, including Bartlesville, Miami, and Tulsa. So that is your severe weather risk coming up for a Wednesday afternoon and evening. A couple of different models we'll look at. First off, you can see the showers that roll through here today, moving into central Oklahoma by later this afternoon. So 5 o'clock onward, look for a few scattered showers and sprinkles moving through. That little mess of rain will continue through the evening hours. So by 10 o'clock, still starting to move into eastern Oklahoma for the heavy stuff through Tulsa southward. Midnight, and that kind of activity continues into eastern Oklahoma while most of us are asleep. And then that's out of the state by the morning. A few clouds, a few sprinkles in the morning, but no big deal there. And then, if you do watch the models here, they do try to blow things up along a cold front up here to the north and west of us. So one area to focus on here. The other area kind of in this region, these storms would move south and east, and this storm here, or two, would move south and east. So this is one model's take at how things may progress here. And it may be significant. There's some other additional elevated thunderstorms overnight after midnight here, scattered kind of across parts of the state for a little while. So we'll see if all that manifests itself for the secondary round. And then another model here, same idea with the rainfall tonight moving through. But then for tomorrow evening, it likes northeast Oklahoma and southeast Missouri quite a bit. These supercell type storms. Doesn't fire off anything here in central Oklahoma, but that's just how two different models with two different physics kind of see the atmosphere in play. All right, so the forecast here then for the next couple of days, we're going to get you into the 80s here for Wednesday and Thursday and Friday, then dip quickly into the 60s for Sunday, Monday, then back into the 70s. Overnight lows, chilly again, looks like around the 26 and the 40s, but at least we're not going to be in the 30s, so that's some good news there. All right, so that takes care of your 5-minute weather. Done. So those of you folks who need to check out, say thank you, I'm out, peace, I got things to do. You can get on out of here. So I'm trying to divvy this up. I'm trying to do the very short-term forecast with not much detail, just the bare bones. This is what's going to happen. And if those want to stick around another 5-10 minutes, then I'll go into some of the detailed discussion on why things happen the way they do, what we're looking for, kind of why things are conditional or why things are certain, that aspect of it. So if you want to hang around just for a couple more minutes, we're going to do that right now. But for the rest of you, thanks for coming by. Thanks for liking, sharing this video, telling your friends and family about AT's weather, and where they can get the most accurate weather forecast. And if they want to learn a little weather classroom 101 on the side, it's right there ready for them as well. All right, so let me load up here one of the talking points that I have for you guys that want to get into the dirty deeds of the weather business. All right, so let's get this going here. This is the dew point map at 4 o'clock tomorrow, or excuse me, yeah, tomorrow afternoon. So what we can find in this map is the front that's kind of anchored right around here, comes into about this area, and then back in here. All right, so this is our cold front. Now, the problem is this is kind of a stationary front at this point because it's not really moving. It's even, so sometimes there's a little bit, it looks like of a mini low pressure area here, a little meso low. And then we have our triple point here on the west side of Oklahoma City. The triple point connects the dry line back in here into southwestern Oklahoma. So this is where the dry air comes in. This is where the moisture is. Now, at 4 o'clock in the afternoon for central Oklahoma, we have kind of a southwest wind. It does try to get more southerly at this time, which is going to help to try to fire off a severe weather, a thunderstorm. But while they're southwesterly, you have more just a severe thunderstorm threat with hail. All right. Once we get more of a south-southeast wind, then you have more of a tornado threat, as long as everything else is in play here. So we go into 5 o'clock and 6 o'clock. Whoa, that is not 6 o'clock. I pressed the wrong button. Let's go back over here. There's 6 o'clock. All right, so here's 6 o'clock. What we have now is the wind starting to come around out of a south, a little turning here to the southeastern direction. So any storm that does happen to form in and around the Oklahoma City area will now be into an environment after 6 p.m. a little bit more favorable for producing a tornado. So we may get a storm earlier on, 5 o'clock, that may just be some hail, but maybe by 6 or 7 o'clock it takes advantage of these winds that are more out of the south and east. And if that were to happen, the tornado threat goes up a little bit. So that threat extends here for central and northeastern Oklahoma for Friday evening. Let's see, earlier, was the sounding forecast ready yet? Let me see here. So there was an outage, I think, in some of the model data sites. We're having some trouble getting some of the latest data, but we did manage to get some of this in right before I went live. Here's a look at the cape and instability that kind of moves into the region. So we have really good shear and we have really good cape here across the I-35 corridor, and this does extend into parts of northeastern Oklahoma, as we talked about. Let's see, what else do I want to show you? Because those are kind of like two main deals. So the tornado risk for the best indices or parameters. Let me look here at this model. Let's go to Wednesday afternoon. So this model happens to kind of favor the split the difference. So kind of northeastern Oklahoma into east central and down the I-35 corridor. Kind of in between is a sweet spot of which where the best ingredients are for supercell type storms. But regardless, if we get any storms at all in this boundary, anywhere in this region that then develop along that front or that triple point and move into this environment, they're going to be suited for some large hail, damaging winds, and yes, a tornado or two. So that'll be on the forecast for tomorrow. It's a pretty small area considering, but it is out there. So the Storm Prediction Center, they may or may not adjust their outlook depending on how the data looks tonight and tomorrow morning, and usually they will adjust accordingly. I did want to show you a forecast sounding. Oh, by the way, rainfall amounts within this. If we get some good storms here in central Oklahoma, a heavy thunderstorm can produce up to 3 inches of rain, as this model's showing here. Here's one that's trying to highlight 2.5 inches of rain. So those supercell storms can produce a lot of rain, but they can also produce a lot of hail, and that is a problem. So if I were to show you, I think I wanted to show you this right here. Let's go to, which map did I want? Let's do this one. All right, so we're going to show you the helicity track, just kind of give you an idea of what's on the table for Wednesday afternoon that's possible. So let's envision a supercell thunderstorm here developing over central Oklahoma, and this won't be the exact placement, but it gives you the idea. As we go through each time, 7, 8, 9 o'clock, the bright colors indicate the helicity track. In other words, if you were to track the existence historically of a storm, has it rotated the entire time? And then not only has it rotated, what's the strength of rotation? And then given some of the other parameters, what does that imply? Well, in this particular case, It's going to apply a very strong supercell thunderstorm with potential for some damaging wind, but also some very large hail. And yes, a tornado, especially when you get these tracks that come out like this. So that's something we have to watch for. You can see that's here in central Oklahoma. Now, could that easily be here? Of course. Could it be here? Yes. Could it be here? Yes. Can it be much further than this? Probably not. This is probably the tail end of where I would place it based off the ingredients and some other things. So right now, that looks like fair game for tomorrow. So we'll watch, see how the data comes in tonight to see if things look about the same, and also on tomorrow morning, and then we'll kind of go accordingly. But for right now, prepare for at least a supercell storm or two here in central Oklahoma, and also a couple of supercell storms kind of in this region from southeastern Kansas and in northeastern Oklahoma. So any one of these have the standard typical severe weather threats with them for this time of the year. So it's not a huge, event. It's just going to be a few cells, but those few cells may cause some problems. So we'll be here to watch it for you. And of course, if it does look like they'll be tornadic, I'll always be covering those live. So that's a little extra, Cindy, Fort Sill. No severe weather out there for today in southwest Oklahoma at all. And honestly, you guys are hurting for rain for the first few waves of this. I'm hoping you'll get some rain eventually before the week is all said and done. But most of the action, just like the last few, is going to be across the eastern half of the state versus the western half. We'll see what happens. Maybe we'll get a few storms out there, but by far and large, most of the data has indicated the other way around. But in this type of a year right now, high fire danger, kind of a drought setting up, a little bit of a La Nina, doesn't bode well usually for western Oklahoma in those cases, so usually it's a problem. It can all change on a dime with one really good event, right? Or a couple of days of a good event. At least, pause it or reverse it a little bit. But right now it's all you can hope for. Just don't see a lot of positive news out of all that yet. Okay, so let me go to the forecast sounding for that area. I want to do that real quick before I sign off here. And also, I wanted to see if there was some of our other data had come in yet. No. Okay, this one did, but we kind of already looked at this one. But let's see what it does. Yeah, it kind of favored northeast Oklahoma. So let me, for example, we'll pick here. So this is just a forecast sounding for northeast Oklahoma, just to show you that in this particular case, it's not as ideal. It's good for a severe thunderstorm, a marginal risk for a tornado. This is south of Tulsa at 7 o'clock hour. But again, that's just one model. And let me show you, I wanted to do, we'll pick about here. So, and then we're going to look at this guy, 36 hours out. All right, so this is the GFS model, the American model. So it's gonna be it'll do pretty good in this situation. I like the mesoscale models better, but for the general purpose of things, it does have nice, good wind speeds, nice, good shear, decent LCLs, lifting condensation level, temperature of 80 over 65, pretty good shear here, 364 meters squared per second squared, so long hodograph. So it's going to have a lot of hail signatures within this for any storm that goes up, and looks like a marginal tornado threat with the possibility of a significant tornado, like an EF2 type deal. So that's something we'll be watching for in the environment for late Wednesday. So we're kind of just now getting in that window. We could kind of look at these parameters and trust them and see how it goes. But that was what I want to bring to your attention. And I'm going to try something I did last night. It didn't work out. It crashed my system. But I've been wanting to try this. So I'm going to try it again. So hold on 2 seconds here. All right. So we shall do this. And is it going to crash me? I hope not. All right. So let me click on here. Turn this on. And let's see what happens. All right, is it gonna work? Hold on. Oh, I think I did. See that? It worked. Something happened. All right, so that was Jessica saying this, and then here's Diane saying the best forecast for Sunday's marathon race. All right, so that's what I wanted to do. This is what I'm gonna. Oh, did it freeze up on me? No, I see it moving. Okay, this is what I wanted to do the other night, and. The whole thing just went down. Like, you guys, like, I'm waiting. It says buffering. It's like, no, it didn't buffer. It just died. So, I don't know what happened. I'd send in a bug report, so we'll see if that gets it fixed. So anyway, so you want to know on Sunday weather, and unfortunately it looked a little wet, so I'll take a quick look at that. But my Facebook Lives here at lunch usually pretty short because I'm limited on time, so I've got a couple more minutes and we'll do that. I did see this. I love your straight up weather, no fear factor. Watch weather coverage all day. So thank you, Fran. Appreciate that. All right, and then Chris, of course, is wanting to know severe weather for Saturday here in Oklahoma City. What's it going to be? All right, so let's take a quick look at the weekend, and then I'm going to get out. So that's all I have time here for today. And we have a lot more time in the evening, so I can usually do those kind of things, a little bit more expanded stuff later on in the day. All right, so let's take a look at this. That was my little system there. Let's go the weekend. So how far is the NAM going to go out? All right, so there's a nice little system here that shows up for Friday. There's the upper low out here across the Rockies. Nice spread in the jet stream pattern, but unfortunately this model doesn't go out far enough. So what I will do is I will use the European data from last night, and we'll see what it does briefly for the weekend. All right, so on Friday, it's a little more aggressive than the NAM, a little bit further to the east. So the morning's run, we'll see if it slows down. That little guy zips on off to the north, and it leaves a piece behind. So this sets us up in a broad southwesterly flow. So typically that's a severe weather event for us if all things else are on the table. And then on Sunday, right here, that flow is still there. So that sets up again a potential day for severe weather, both Saturday and Sunday. And then let's go on Monday, and then it moves through on Monday. And Monday it's coming by in the afternoon hour, so we could actually have some more rain on Monday. Woohoo! Hey, I'm all for the rain, that's for sure. All right, so let's get to the precipitation outlook for the marathon and severe weather. What does it look like? So we'll do that, and we're going to zoom in here. Okay, so let's go into. So that was Friday, might have some storms out in the Panhandle in the evening hours. Okay, here's Saturday. So it looks like a front tries to come in, probably puts the brakes on at some point here over west central Oklahoma, and it does. And it tries to fire off some storms here Saturday evening up here in northern Oklahoma along their frontal boundary. And those kind of stay clustered into the north, which implies a cap will be too strong to prevent them farther down south. So that means some storms there Saturday night across the northern third of Oklahoma. All right, and then on Sunday, what happens? That front sags farther to the south in the morning hours. We get some overnight rain into early morning on Saturday. Or excuse me, on Sunday, rather. All right, so you did ask about the marathon. It's going to be wet, unfortunately, if the European is right, which at this point, why not? Because you can't argue it this far out. We don't have enough data to support. But this is what the trend is, and that's been the same trend for the last few days, so it hasn't changed. So there's Sunday in the morning hours. It's like very wet on Sunday. Good. I mean, overall, I know, sorry about the marathon, but hey, we need the rain. So it looks like a wet, rainy Sunday. And then on Monday, it looks like most of the action now is on the southeastern sides of the state, so pretty much south and east of I-44 on Monday itself. So there's our 3 big rain days for Saturday evening, Sunday, and then Monday. So that's a nice little period of rain. I want to see what the rainfall totals here are in a second. But let me look at the severe weather aspect. Since the atmosphere looks like it's going to be a little crazy, yeah, we're going to be rain cooled, so that would really reduce the severe weather threat. Woohoo! That's good. So I just get just a good rainfall after the threat for Saturday. So let me go to Saturday evening here. So Saturday evening looks like a profile for just some strong severe thunderstorms. It says TOR on the output for tornado, but that's a low end probability considering what I've got here on the table. But not 0, but it's on the lower end. But definitely a favored for just your typical stuff that we would get. And if it's more linear, it's harder to get a tornado anyway. Let me look down here in south central Oklahoma just for a minute. So it's still, yeah, it's got a pretty strong cap. That's why. All right, no problem. So that's the reason for that. All right, let me look at the total amount of rainfall expected on the European data, which will include that little stretch of 3 days. Oh, look at all that rain showing up. Oh my goodness. Oh, I hope this pans out. Man, we need this bad. But that's ridiculous though. 10 inches of rain down here in southern Oklahoma. It's East Wichita Falls. There'll be flash flooding with that if that were to be panning out. Up here in Eden, it's got the little sweet spot, Ponca City, 4 to 5. A lot of this yellow area is 4 to 5. And of course, it puts a donut hole over the metro of only an inch of rain. Now, this isn't, gospel here. Model's not that good. The trend, what you want to look for is, are we seeing pockets of some really heavy rain? The answer is yes. And are we seeing widespread coverage? And the answer is yes. So this is a different change. When I made my blog on Sunday, it kind of had this region as the best area, and then this was kind of a questionable zone as far as we'll get anything substantial or significant here, and it had nothing out here. Well, it's shoved everything west about another third, so I'm okay with that. So we desperately need some rain. So we'll see what happens here as we include all of next weekend, or all of this coming weekend into Monday. So there you go. There's your extended extra weather coverage out there for you. All right, so thanks for the question. So Vanessa, I just looked at that. Sherry. Listen, have you guys not learned? Why are you even saying that? So-and-so said tornadoes in the metro this Sunday or this weekend. And I'm like, what is today? Today's Tuesday. Why do y'all fall for that stuff every time? You guys are suckers. I mean, if I was a con artist, you're an easy mark. Quit being a mark. Don't listen to that nonsense. It's garbage. I mean, I preached on blue in the face, but it doesn't do any good. Listen, beyond 48 hours, don't even talk about it. That's the rule. That's the rule here. But hey, if you want to get worked up and get excited, and then go for it. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to keep it calm, cool, and collected over on this side of things. But anyway, so thanks you guys for tuning in here at lunchtime. Out of time, but appreciate you guys checking in. And again, I'm doing a two-factor deal, so we'll do the quick and dirty, easy weather up front. So don't be late because you're going to miss the 3 to 5 minute version of the forecast. And if you are late, well, you get to stick around for some weather education. We'll do that for the next 5 to 10 minutes, and you'll still get the forecast, but it'll be combined and all the other stuff. So that's what I'm going to try to do this for a while and see how this works out. But anyways, I'm out. You guys have a great rest of your afternoon. See you again, I think tonight around 9:30. I think I'll be able to do a live then. And then, of course, tomorrow I'll update you somehow, some way. I don't know if it'll be a live or just a post, but we'll see, depending on what I got going on. But you guys have a great day. All right, see ya.